Hello, this is Team One. My name is Matthew. I'm here with Thomas and Snigdha, and this is our University Settlement Design Sprint presentation. So,
hi, my name is Thomas Vinci. I'm an industrial designer at the Cleveland Institute of Art. I'm currently studying car design.
He also enjoys mustaches and puns.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Matthew Henke. I am currently an industrial designer at the Cleveland Institute of Art. I am currently studying product design. I enjoy being colorblind in chess.
Oh my gosh. And this is our third team member. She was not able to be here at the moment. So her name is Snigdha Chawla. She's a biomedical engineer at Case, and she enjoys research and dumb memes.
So I'm gonna first introduce the problem. In this design sprint, we were faced with the challenge of how can University Settlement manage their soon to be unoccupied spaces and engage their community when they leave. So the two spaces are their main building, which is in the top right over here. And the other building is called the Mead building in the bottom left. So next we went into the design sprint process. We collaborated through this on a platform called Miro, which has a board setup where we can all collaborate at the same time. First, we wanted to start with the first step, which was immersion. So we basically got to orient ourselves to the problem. We had come up with a whole bunch of questions in the beginning, like how bad is the main building to begin with? Is there any structural damage? Is it salvageable? And from there, we were able to find out through the interview with the actual people from university that the main building is almost uninhabitable. They're only trying to basically keep it staying together, but after that, it probably will fall apart. They have raccoons in the top and everything. And in the L building, which is also known as the Mead building, they have just mice problem and a little bit of a roof leak. So what we were told. From there, we moved on to the reframe, which was basically trying to understand the goals of university and how they want to orient this, because they're technically going to need monetary value. So we asked, do you need a more community aspect or money? They need more, their entire mission is about more community than a money goal. And so after there, we created a how might we help the community by keeping the second building and making money, essentially. And from there, we went to the ideation phase.
Yeah, so basically all of the ideas that we came up with were split, were kind of derivative of this post-it note you see in the top left, split property into two different goals, one for monetary value and the other one strictly for the benefit of the community. That's where we kind of started our idea. We definitely needed to meet those two criteria of community versus, if not monetary, but like at least trying to like mitigate whatever costs might have happened. Some of the ideas we came up with is like just selling the property outright, maybe to the city, maybe to CSU, in hopes that they would use it for the community. Another ideas that we had was maybe make a bus station out of one of them and maybe a soup kitchen out of the other one. Another thing would be we could also make a park, but they didn't like the idea of the park, so we also considered community gardens, community centers, maybe just like skill centers, a school. There were a lot of ones that we threw out there, but we kind of leaned more in the direction of bus station versus maybe possibly community-centered buildings.
We selected the idea, we settled it on it as a group. We decided the Mead building should be used as a rental property, so they would retain that, they would fix it up, and then they would use it as a rental property for low-income housing or possible startup businesses, because the building was already pre-existing and set up for housing. And the second building, which is known as the main building, we would demo it because it was considered uninhabitable. And the third thing that we would do would be create an RTA station out in front of the main building, which is alongside the major road. So our solution was splitting up into two different goals. And we would demolish the main building. We had two different options that we could go from there. We could sell it, or we could create a community garden. This would develop the community and require community interaction, which is one of their goals. So we would have both of them be for a community for this one. The L building would stay the same with the renovation project, and the RTA station would be out in front of their main building out here. There is enough sidewalk space to create a small RTA station. So here's the storyboard of how we would do that. And the Mead building, we would first get rid of the mice problem. We would fix up the building so it would be perfectly spotless, and then we would rent it out. And number 2 shows the main building. We would demolish it, and we could either create, that's the foundation. We would either create and fill that with a garden, or we would be able to sell that as basically development land for a developer that would come in and try and build up the community that way. The third thing was the RTA station. This shows RTA station on like the side shoulder where a community would go and have more opportunities. And this all stems around this idea of community on the left.
Yeah, so the impact of the idea of the bus station is that transportation allows access to more opportunities. The Mead building just builds for the community, would have a benefit. And then the demolition was just an overall plan because currently the buildings fall apart in general, and it would just make it safer.
And thank you very much. That concludes our presentation.